The average American household pays over $1,000 a year in credit card interest. Not because credit cards are broken, not because those people are irresponsible, because nobody taught them the one thing that changes how the whole game works. The exact same card, used one different way, builds your credit score, earns you free money back on purchases you were already making, and costs you nothing in interest. Ever. By the end of this video, you'll know what that one thing is, and how to set it up today in about 5 minutes. A credit card is a short-term loan you take out every time you swipe. The bank pays the merchant, and you owe the bank. If you pay the bank back in full before the billing cycle ends, you pay 0 interest. If you don't, the bank charges you interest, usually between 20% and 30% annually, on whatever balance you're carrying. That interest rate is the entire trap. A $500 purchase at 25% APR that you only make minimum payments on can take years to pay off and cost you double what you originally spent. The credit card is not the problem. The interest is the problem, and the interest only hits you if you let it. Pay your balance in full every single month. That's it. That is the one thing that separates the people paying $1,000 a year in interest from the people paying 0. When you pay in full, you get all the upside of a credit card: credit building, fraud protection, rewards, and none of the downside. You never pay $1 of interest. You never carry debt. The card works for you instead of against you. The minimum payment is a trap. The bank sets it low on purpose, usually 1% to 2% of your balance. Because the longer you carry a balance, the more interest they collect. Paying the minimum feels responsible. It is not. It is the slowest, most expensive way to get out of debt. Set up auto pay for the full statement balance. Not the minimum, the full amount. Do it the day you get the card and don't think about it again. Here's what the minimum payment on a credit card actually costs you. Say you put $1,000 on a credit card at 24% APR and only make the minimum payment each month. About $25 to start. It takes you nearly 7 years to pay that off. And by the time you're done, you've paid over $1,000 in interest on top of the $1,000 you already spent. That $1,000 purchase cost you over $2,000. The bank is not doing you a favor by keeping the minimum low. They're making money every month you don't pay it off. Pay the full balance. Every month. No exceptions. Using a credit card correctly builds your credit score in 2 ways: payment history and utilization. Payment history is 35% of your score. Every on-time payment counts. Auto pay the full balance, and this takes care of itself. You will never miss a payment. Utilization is 30% of your score. This is how much of your available credit you're using. Keep it under 10% for the best results. If your credit limit is $1,000, try not to carry more than $100 on the card at a time, even if you pay it off monthly. The balance that gets reported to the credit bureaus is usually your statement balance, not your end-of-month balance. The move: put 1 or 2 small recurring charges on the card. A streaming subscription, your phone bill, gas. Let those charges hit, then pay the full statement balance when it's due. Your utilization stays low, your payment history builds, and you're not touching the card impulsively. If you have no credit history or a thin file, start with a secured credit card. It requires a deposit, usually $200 to $500, that becomes your credit limit. Capital One, Platinum Secured, and Chime Credit Builder are solid, no-fee options. Use it for 6 to 12 months, and you'll have a real credit score. If you already have some credit history, look at the Discover It Student Cashback or Capital One Quicksilver. Both have no annual fee, earn rewards, and are designed for people who are just starting out. One card is enough to start. Don't open 2 or 3 at once trying to maximize rewards. Every application is a hard inquiry that temporarily dips your score, and managing multiple cards makes it easier to miss something. Spending more because it doesn't feel like real money. Swiping a card is psychologically easier than handing over cash, and banks know it. Treat every swipe like you're handing over the actual bill. If the money isn't already in your checking account, don't put it on the card. only paying the minimum. Covered already, but worth repeating. Minimum payments are how a $1,000 purchase drags on for nearly 7 years and ends up costing you over $2,000. Closing the card when you pay it off. If you pay off a card and close it, you lose that available credit and potentially shorten your credit history. Both hurt your score. Leave it open, put a small recurring charge on it and let it sit. Applying for too many cards at once. Every application triggers a hard inquiry. Space them out by at least 6 months if you're planning to open more than one. A credit card used correctly is one of the best financial tools you have access to. It builds your credit score, earns you rewards on spending you were already doing, and gives you fraud protection that a debit card doesn't. The people who get destroyed by credit cards aren't unlucky. They're using the card on the bank's terms instead of their own. Pay in full, keep utilization low, and the card works for you. Next, we're covering something most people never learn until they've already left money on the table. How to negotiate your salary. What to say, when to say it, and how to walk into that conversation without freezing up. Subscribe so you don't miss it.